Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and I am back with a Simple Stories Say Cheese Christmas layout for my Christmas in July. I'm going to be using this page map sketch from October of 2012, and I will tell you that my layout ends up looking nothing like this. I did pull some inspiration from it, and I will point that out when I get to it. When I was working through other layouts, I came across this blue piece of paper that had the banner pieces at the top there, and I loved that paper. And being a double page scrapbooker, I don't get to use those types of papers a lot. So I knew I wanted to incorporate it into this series. This is where I'm following the sketch a little bit. I took a large piece of the paper that has all of the fun words like peace, cheer, love, believe, ho ho ho, and joy, and added that to the center of the layout, kind of like the sketch calls for. I also added this pink paper that I've been incorporating into the layouts because there is some pink in the layout, but there's no real pink paper. I used my banner punch because that's where I am in my life right now. I am loving all of my banners. And I added the pink paper to the top and bottom of that paper that's in the center. And then I'm going to add my photo on top of it. I did feel like my photo was getting a little lost, so I decided to back it with some white cardstock. You know I'm going to pull out my layering guides, and I do have a tutorial for that, so I will link it here if you would like to check out how to exactly use these. They do have a little bit of a learning curve to them, but once you get over that, they are truly fabulous tools to work with. So I'm looking through the papers, trying to figure out what I wanted. I knew that I wanted something over on the far right, kind of like the sketch called for. And because there was a Christmas tree in the background, I thought I could pull out this card here and maybe cut it a little bit and add it to the right-hand side of the photo. But immediately when I put it down, I was like, nope, I don't like it. It's too big. So I decided to pull out this Mickey head sticker and add it over to the right. I also decided to put my photo up on Fun Foam so that it would stick up a little bit next to that Mickey head. Once I get my photo down, I pull out the sticker sheet and I thought maybe I'll add Minnie to the other side, but the sticker's not a half of a Mickey or a half of a Minnie, and it just looked weird. So I foregoed that and then started thinking that I could add another type of embellishment over there. I added a Christmas tree and I started looking through the embellishment pieces, looking to see what I could add. I didn't like the Christmas tree next to the photo and I thought it looked better in the bottom left corner. So I moved it down there. And then I found this little girl who was holding Christmas ornaments. Thought that was perfect since these are photos of the Christmas tree. So I added that to the left of the photo at the top. And because she was a chipboard piece, I felt like having a chipboard piece up there and down at the bottom was a little much. So I decided to put a die cut down at the bottom left. At this point, I knew for a fact that I wanted the Christmas tree and the little girl down, so I used some adhesive to add both of those down. And then I keep looking, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I struggle so much with one page layouts. It just doesn't work for me. I feel like I don't have enough space. The proportions are off. I just do so much better with a double page layout. I did find these ornaments and I thought, oh, it would be cute if I hung the ornaments from the pink paper, kind of like a garland. So I found three ornaments that I liked and I decided that I was just going to go with it and added them down with some adhesive. I am definitely not a person who thinks a lot about it. If I add it to the layout and it looks good, I'm probably going to add adhesive to it pretty quickly and add it right down to the layout. I also found this red heart, which I'm loving these hearts. I think I ended up using every single heart from the embellishment pieces, the sticker sheet, and the chipboard pieces. It's colored hearts and then it has like a black line around it, but the color heart and the black line don't necessarily line up. It's like a sketch feel to it. I decided to slow the video down here because I did do my stitching off camera. I added some black string to the very top. I decided to stitch all of the holes from the border strip. So the border punch itself actually put all the holes in it, and I just decided, why not stitch it? And then I stitched around the Mickey head because why not? I knew I wanted my title to be Oh Christmas Tree, but there wasn't a word Christmas in the stickers. So I pulled out this Echo Park sticker sheet and decided to use that on the layout. It's red. It's a little bit different of a color red, but it's very, very slightly noticeable. And honestly, if you're paying that close of attention to the color of the word, probably looking at the wrong things on my layout. I did use the foam adhesive from scrapbook.com to back the word Christmas, and then I pulled out these very thin font from Freckled Fawn to spell out the word O and tree. So my title is O Christmas Tree. And I love when I mix and match fonts like that, especially if they're like a sticker that has the entire word connected, like the word Christmas, and then the actual letter stickers, like the Freckled Fawn ones that I used. I just think that the contrast between those two is so pretty. Those Freckled Fawn stickers were not sticky at all, so I did have to use my glue press to make sure that they would stay down. And then I had to pull off all of those foam adhesive strips that were on the back of the word Christmas to get that word down as well. Then I had the brilliant idea that my Christmas tree needed actual ornaments. So I pulled out my color boxes in red, green, blue, and pink and added them to my Christmas tree where the little dots were as if they were ornaments. I was able to find glittery ones in red and green, but I did not have glittery ones that matched in pink and blue. So I pulled out those like old style gem ones, the ones that like were super popular years ago, and added those. I also added 3 red glitter ones to the Mickey head that's over on the right hand side, which were like the little holly berries in that little green foliage over there. I also found a pink star. The star that was on the Christmas tree, I think was red, but I didn't like the way that it looked. So I just replaced it with a pink one. And I like it, and I think that it's pretty, and I feel like the pink in this collection was just not enough. So anytime that I could add some additional pink pieces, I am happy with that. This is where you can see those blue and pink gemstones that I was adding to the little Christmas tree as well. I picked up these flare pieces from Scrappin' Happy Studio. I'll link them below. They had an entire box of like all the Disney flair that came out to match the new Simple Stories collection, so obviously I had to pick it up, but I only ended up using one on this layout. It's a little flare that is a Mickey heart, and it looks like Mickey's shorts, so like the top part of it is black and then the bottom part looks like his red shorts. And then I went through my Disney embellishment books because I needed one more piece, and those hearts with the black sketch lines is a pretty predominant thing in the Simple Stories collection, so I knew that I could find a piece. And I found this little one that has a red and blue heart as well as like little stars, and it fit perfectly up there in the top. So I did go ahead and do my journaling for this layout. It's very simple. It just says, Disney's Hollywood studio is where the festive magic happens. Tina and I struck a pose by the most epic Christmas tree ever. I did decide to stack the journaling, which is where I just cut out additional journaling strips and add 2 additional pieces below my journaling. Since I only had 3 lines, I thought it was pretty simple to do. I do have a video, and I will link it here for you if you want to see all of my tips and tricks on how to use the die to cut out your journaling strips and how I kind of put all these together. I then cut down the journaling strips so that one, it cuts off the edges, but also it would fit on my layout. I really wanted the journaling to be on that word paper, but it just got lost. So I added it below my photo on the blue paper and stacked it kind of close to the title so it nestles between the title and those ornaments that are on the right hand side. And I play around with it for a little bit, and then I pull out my T-square ruler to make sure that it is straight. I am really loving this tool that I picked up from scrapbook.com. It has like a pointy side of it, and it really helps move the strips around or other pieces around when you have that liquid glue. Just enough. That's a little bit better than using your finger. And then I pulled out my date stamp to add the date, which was December 14th, 2017. Alright guys, I wanted to get on here and show you my plan for the single page layouts that I created during the Christmas in July series. My Disney album for 2017 has 2 pages left in it, and obviously I added these because I knew that I was going to be adding the pages that I'm about to show you. Alright, so these photos are the same day as these photos. So I'm going to add the Oh Christmas Tree layout here next to the photos of us visiting the Pixar area where the car stuff was. So this is going to go in here. So when you turn the page, I'm going to add this double page layout. This is of Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade that happened the same year. Now, I did not attend this parade. These are stock photos, but I wanted to include it. And then the very last page of the album, of course, is going to have Santa because, you know, you always end the year with Santa, or at least in my mind you do. So that is how I incorporate one-page layouts into my albums. Most of the time I just use them in the very front or the very back of the album, but there have been times when I have done one-page layouts to set next to these pocket page layouts. Here's another example of when I did a one-page layout to sit next to a pocket page. I actually did this on the back of another layout that's going to sit next to some other pocket pages. So that's how I incorporate my one-page layouts in my albums. Usually, if they are in the center of the album, they're going to have pocket pages next to them, or I may create another single page layout that coordinates with it. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I hope you are enjoying all of these Disney layouts that I'm bringing you, as well as Christmas in July. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.